Hello everyone, welcome to testing hot new makeup for September 2023. This is the video that I upload every single month where I gather some of the hottest, most hyped up new makeup releases and I test them out for the very first time on camera in front of you all. And today I think I have the most new makeup releases that I've ever had in one video. And some of these products have been so hyped up, they sold out in a lot of places. And I'm specifically talking about the new Holiday Edition Hourglass Ambient Lighting Unlocked palette. I purchased it in Blackbird. I do believe these sold out on the Hourglass website when they were first launched, but by the time this video goes up, I think you will be able to purchase it at Sephora and or Ulta. I also have a new foundation from Rose Inc. This is the Spotlight Skin Smoothing Liquid Foundation. This foundation so far on Sephora.com has really good reviews, so I'm really looking forward to trying this. Of course, I ordered it online, and if you've watched one of my hot new makeup videos before, you know that whenever I order a foundation online, it can be very hit or miss. Sometimes I guess my shade correctly and sometimes I am way off. I also could possibly be way off on the concealer I ordered from Haus Labs. I purchased the shade 11 Light Neutral, so hoping for the best with that. I also have a new brow pencil from Kosas, a new mascara from CoverGirl. I've got a new primer from Hard Candy. I have got the new powder from Milk Makeup. I've got a new lip gloss from Milk Makeup. So why don't I get started showing you how I achieved this look using a full face of the hottest new makeup releases. I wasn't sure if I was going to mention this in the video or not because I always like my videos to be very happy and upbeat. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that my beloved Shih Tzu Marnie that we have had in our family for 12 years, she passed away, and I, did my share of crying for days. And some people say that, you should just take your time and, don't get right back to work. But this honestly, putting makeup on is very therapeutic for me. It has been my love for years and years. And honestly, I just needed to do this today. I needed to, take my mind off of things. And I hope that you will understand why I am going ahead and doing this video because, yeah, I'm just going to have fun sharing all this new makeup with you, trying it all on, and I can get back to mourning later. But for now, I might go put in some Lumify eye drops and start playing with some makeup. Oh my goodness, Lumify eye drops are amazing. They are a must have. So let's get this hair out of the way. Okay, this is the Sheer Envy Matte Primer. It controls shine with ginger root and zinc. They also came out with a radiance primer and then a redness relieving primer. This says it is an all-day oil-fighting primer infused with ginger root and zinc to visibly perfect your skin, boosted with skin-soothing antioxidant grapeseed extract to reveal visibly firm and radiant hydrated skin, smooth, matte, and ready for makeup that lasts. This is vegan and cruelty-free, and it is a gel-like consistency. So I am just applying this through my T-zone. I typically prefer to use a pore blurring primer over a shine control one because I find that primers that claim to do both don't often do both. They are usually better at one over the other, either at shine control or pore blurring. So this one is not pore blurring, but it does have some tackiness, some grip to it. I know a lot of people like that. The Milk Makeup Gripping Primer is extremely popular, so we'll see. We'll see if this controls the shine. Now, if you're new to my channel and you've never seen one of my hot new makeup videos, what I do is at the end of the day, I take a look at how everything is looking, and I put a caption on the screen at the very end of the video when I'm sort of recapping all of the products. You will see a little caption there telling you how everything held up throughout the day. So here goes nothing. We are going to try out this new foundation from Rose Inc. Once again, I have to put my glasses on to read you a little bit about this product. This is called the Soft Light Skin Smoothing Hydrating Non-Comedogenic Foundation. It says that it is good for uneven texture, redness, acne and blemishes. It is clean and hydrating. It claims to have medium coverage that's smoothing, weightless, and buildable, has a natural finish, and is ideal for acne-prone skin. I chose 8N Light Neutral. And I'm going to swipe a few dots over here. And do I want to use a sponge or a brush? I probably should have determined that earlier. Oh boy, I am going to use, because I have it right here, this brush that I actually got on Amazon. It's really, really inexpensive. I think the color might be okay. I think I may have done a-okay with this shade. Oh, could it be that I actually chose a spot-on color shade? Could it be that a company claiming that a shade is neutral is actually neutral? Because I'm sure we've all been there where we've tried a foundation that said it was neutral toned and it was not. This might be one of my best matches ever. And this coverage and finish is beautiful. Now I will need to get, if I end up loving this foundation, I will need to get a darker shade for when I do self-tan. Now it's not super highly concentrated. If you noticed, I did have to use quite a few swipes to cover each side, and I still, not swipes, dots of foundation. And I still need more for right in here because I haven't gotten this area yet. So let's put a little bit more on my nose and my chin and here and a little bit more here. Yes, I look a little pale because whenever I use an exact match to my skin, I do look a little pale, but I am pale. Gotta face the facts, right? And when I used to do makeup at a makeup counter and I would color match people, a lot of times they felt like the foundation was too light, because what a correct foundation match does is, number one, match your neck and your chest, but number two, it evens out your skin tone. So without that redness and sort of discoloration that we all have, when that's all evened out, you are gonna look a little bit more pale. But that's when you go back in with contours or bronzers and blush, and I promise you this will look really, really good at the end. All right, here's the Haus Labs concealer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my concealer brush. This is a BK Beauty A306, A506, because I didn't put my glasses on. And this is what it looks like. It has a doe foot applicator. It's similar in shape to the Natasha Denona that I love, but it's not on an angle like the Natasha Denona. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit on the back of my hand. This is a little bit more yellow for a neutral. And now I'm going to pick some up on my brush and pat it in. Oh, yeah, it's a little bit more yellow for a neutral than this foundation, but it's not too yellow. It has nice coverage. I wouldn't say that it's like full coverage, but it could be because I'm applying it with a brush. Sometimes if you go in directly with the applicator, you get more full coverage. So I'm actually going to go in just right here with the actual applicator. I think I just said actual twice in a row. All All right, let's look at this more closely. Oh, it's nice. It has a nice sort of, I wouldn't say luminous finish, but dewy hydrating finish. Okay, so far so good. Now, I'm gonna have to maybe do a side-by-side comparison with the Natasha Denona High Glam, because as of right now, that's my favorite concealer. I also really love the Kosas concealer. Was it the Kosas concealer? No, it's the Kulfi concealer. And I would say another favorite of mine currently is the Lawless Conceal the Deal, which, by the way, if you missed it, I did an entire non-sponsored brand review of the entire Lawless brand. So I can link that video if I remember, because sometimes I do forget to link these videos that I say I'm going to link. I will do my best to remember to put the link in the description box. Things are looking good. Now, let's contour or bronze, because I need some color in this face. And I do not have a new bronzing product to use, so I'm going to use a relatively new product. This is the Say Sun Melt in the shade Light Bronze. And I am missing the brush I need. Okay, even though this is a foundation brush, it's a BK Beauty 101 travel size brush. I'm gonna use it anyway. I'm gonna pick up the product and stamp it on my skin, my face, and bring some color back in here. And to contour my nose, I'm going to use this little contour product I got on Amazon. It's so good. I'm just going to contour a little bit. Oops, that's a little much. This is another brush I got from Amazon. It is in that same set as the foundation brush I used. And I think the trio, there's 3 brushes in the set, were like $9 or $10, maybe less. Okay, I think we're good. So far, A+ on the foundation and concealer. Now let's try this Pore Eclipse powder. This is Translucent Light, and this translucent loose powder is made with fentyl extract and, hang on, lentil extract and bok choy to control shine. BAKUCHIOL to control shine, set makeup, and blur pores for a soft matte finish. Pro tip, if you ever have trouble lifting the plastic off of something like a powder like this, take a tweezers and lift up. Ooh, it looks very, very finely milled, which I like. And now I'm going to take, oh my goodness, it is like feather light. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Very, very pore blurring. All right, complexion is looking good. I feel like this powder is so lightweight that you can't even detect it on my skin. Okay, it's time for brows. I have purchased yet another brow product. I must own 70 different brow pencils at this point, but I couldn't resist. I saw so many people on social media raving about this Brow Pop Nano, saying that it is the perfect pencil for people like me that have very, very sparse brows and need to make those very natural hair-like strokes. Oh, before I actually get to that, I want to spray my face with this D'Alba First Spray Serum. This is a double layer serum enriched with white truffle from Italy. It hydrates and gives you more radiant skin. I have seen so many of my YouTuber friends talk about this spray and how much they love it. From what I understand, it is the top selling spray on Amazon. Ooh, that smells good. Oh my gosh, this might be the lightest weight setting spray, or not setting spray, just refresher hydrating spray I have ever tried. Ooh, it's not so great when you get it in your mouth though. Look what this spray just did for my skin. It took everything from not looking unnatural, but to looking like this could be my real skin. Okay, back to the brow pencil. Does this have a spoolie on the end? It does. And I'm going to have to turn my mirror around. I'm gonna zoom you in, brush up the brows. And by the way, the shade I purchased is taupe. Oh wow, this is probably one of the finest tipped brow pencils I've ever tried. Hopefully it doesn't break off. This tip is maybe even smaller than the one from Huda Beauty, but I don't like that one because every time I use it, on like the third or fourth stroke, the tip breaks off. And that pencil is too expensive to waste so much of it. The shade is really, really good for me. So far, there has been no breaking off of the tip. I may have just discovered my new favorite brow pencil. Even though I just ordered during the Labor Day sale 2 more of the Give by Gwen Stefani brow pencils because I was loving that one. But I think this one is even better. Now I'm just carving out under my brows as usual, using my Makeup Forever HD Face Palette. Okay, now as much as I want to go into this Hourglass palette, I am going to do my eyes first. And for that, I'm using another new neutral eyeshadow palette. I recently did a video on the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions 3 All Matte Eyeshadow Palette. And in case you missed that one, I did a comparison to a couple of other new neutral eyeshadow palettes, one of them being the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes. So that's another video that I will link in the description box in case you missed it. So this is the Kosas Undressed, and at first glance it seemed very boring, kind of like the Patrick Ta and the Makeup by Mario. But I thought that this would be a great beginner palette or everyday palette for a lot of people. So far it has amazing reviews. This is a talc-free palette, and it has really all the colors you need for an everyday look. I'm going to start by taking the shade Drape, and I'm applying that all over my lid. Holy pigment. I was not expecting that. Wow. This could easily be a one and done eyeshadow. I thought I was using like, you know, one of the lighter ones, but yeah, I guess it's more of a mid-tone shade. But I'm not mad about it. This could be a one and done everyday eyeshadow. It's so buttery, easily blendable, and I'm taking it up above my crease because my eyes are hooded. So taking it above my natural crease. And now I'm going to take another brush, BK Beauty 202 brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Peak right up here and just sort of blend out the upper crease. Dare I say these have a better texture than the Mario. Going into the shade Hint, which is the matte ivory. Placing that right under the brow bone. And if you wanted to do an all matte look, I would take this ivory shade and put it on the lid too. But because I really want to use the one shimmer shade in the palette, I'm not going to do that. Should I use my finger or a brush? Let's use my finger. Now this feels a little dry. Okay, I can't say I'm wowed by the shimmer shade, but it's nice. Now I want to put a little bit of the darkest brown along my upper lash lines, and I'm going to sort of wing it out. Actually, this brush is not working. Let's use another BK Beauty. The 204. That's better. So I'm kind of running it along my upper lash lines to give a soft smoky look. And then blend it on the outer corners, just sort of pat, 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 pat. Soft, smoky. Soft, smoky. Okay, now I'm going into the shade Undo. And just sort of darkening out that outer V and extending it towards my temples. Just to elongate my eyes a little bit. Just putting it right in there. Dragging it out towards the temples. This eye is becoming so much more hooded than this one. Oh, it's such a challenge. Now I'm going into the shade Gaze and just running that along my lower lash lines. All right, so now I'm going to curl my lashes and tightline with this Give eyeliner pencil in brown, and then I will try the new CoverGirl Clean Topia mascara. Before I do that, I'm doing something else I always do, which is take a little bit of concealer and clean up under the shadow to give my eyes a more lifted appearance. Okay, let's try this mascara. I purchased it in Extreme Black. Oh, before I open it, let me read what it says. Plant Powered Clean Mascara, Extreme Lush Volume. It contains aloe leaf extract, ceramides, and 100% plant powered fibers. Oh, I like the brush. It reminds me a lot of the Chanel Le Volume mascara wand. Oh my goodness. It kind of goes on similarly to the Chanel. Got a little clumpy right out there. But it's giving me a lot of length and separation. I think you just need to be careful as you're applying it to not get too much on. What do you think? I think it's nice. It's giving me like a lot of both length and volume, which is hard to find. I don't like that there's so much coming out on the packaging though. I feel like maybe the stopper, maybe the one I got, something's wrong with the stopper. You know that little ring at the top of a mascara that helps to scrape off the excess? My lashes look very full and fluffy. It is time to try the Hourglass palette. This palette came out in 3 colorways: the jellyfish, the leopard, and the snake. Now the snake, I believe, is supposed to be for the deeper or darker skins, and then jellyfish is supposed to be for fair to light, and then this leopard is supposed to be for kind of in between. Now, people have been using all of them. All different skin tones have been trying the 3 different versions. I just decided to go for the leopard. It seemed to be the most practical. I have to be honest with you that these, in my opinion, these look a lot bigger in video than in person. I was kind of shocked. I'd never ordered one of these Hourglass holiday palettes before, and they're just the size of like the palm of your hand, or not the palm, but like the size of your hand. I don't know why, for some reason I thought they would be bigger. The artwork on the packaging is really, really beautiful. I also chose this one because I didn't already own any of the shades in this palette except for this one right here, which is called Mood Exposure. So I'm gonna start with the bronzer, and I'm going to take this big fluffy brush from Real Techniques and bronze up my skin. Oh, this is a very, very nice shade. It's not too dark. It's not too orangey. All right, bronzer's on. I just did a light dusting of the bronzer. And now for the blush, I am gonna go into both of these shades down here. Just gonna go tap, 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 and blush. pretty. I'm just gonna go right into this one on its own and pop that on the cheek. Oh boy, that is pigmented. But I love blush, so I'm not mad about it. Oh wow, this is nice. And I'm going back into just that shade alone. So if you want more subtle color, use this one. If you want more pigment, use this one. And I also want to run a little bit of this pinky shade just through my crease to give a little bit of a monochromatic look, kind of tie everything together. All right, now I have never used one of these Hourglass powders under my eyes. Finishing powder, dim light. Okay, let's use this big fluffy Morphe brush from the Makeup by Ariel collection, one of my faves. Dip, dip, dip. And, oh, nice. Oh, very nice. Gave a nice little lightness to the under eyes. Let's put some right here and right here. Okay, I get it. I think I'm starting to get what the hype has always been about with these powders. So now let's take the highlighter and voila, a little bit of glow. All right. This palette is super expensive, but I think I might think that it is worth it. Worth the money. I feel very glowy, but not shiny. And I'm actually going to put a little bit of that in my tear ducts as well. All right, for lips, I do not have a new lip pencil to use, but this is new to me. I've seen so many people talk about the Tower 28 multi-liner lip pencils. They're called one-liners. You supposedly can use these on your cheeks, your lips, and your eyes. I have the shade Work of Art, and it is a pencil that you sharpen, just a traditional lip liner pencil. I would describe the shade as a medium pinky nude. It's going on very easily, no skipping, no tugging. And you know what I completely forgot that I had that was sent to me are the new Power Matte High Intensity Lip Pencils from NARS. Ooh, look at that promo pic. That's cool. So these are a fully loaded matte lip formula charged with 12-hour staying power. Potency meets precision in a pencil format, delivering unstoppable saturation that's unexpectedly comfortable. Look how cute the package they sent is. It's like a little box of crayons. So I do have that Milk lip gloss to try, but ooh, lots of dark color. Ooh, why do they all look so dark? Like, where's the Risa nude shade? Or maybe there's just not a nude that they sent me. All right, let's try this one, American Woman. Oh, it feels nice. I don't know if it's a good match for the lip pencil though. I mean, I suppose you could use this as a lip pencil. It's a nice color. I don't know, I'm not like wowed by it. Let's see what happens when I put the Milk Makeup lip gloss over the top. This is the Glossy Lip Oil Gloss, and I purchased the shade Soul Search, which is like a milky pink. It has a slightly angled doe foot applicator. And, ooh, the consistency is nice. Oh, it's so shiny. Okay, I think we may have salvaged this combo. That's why I always tell you, my viewers, to experiment, to play around with makeup, because you never know what amazing things you can discover, whether it's a color combination or a technique. Okay, we all know what time it is now. I've got to go do my hair, get dressed, and then we will quickly run through all of this hot new makeup. Okay, here's a look at the completed makeup in natural light using my iPhone camera. And now it's time to go through everything I tested today very briefly. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I will have a caption on the screen telling you how I felt the foundation, primer, and concealer held up throughout the day. But I can tell you as of this moment, there is not a single product here that I am upset that I purchased. I have had this foundation on for about 4 hours now. I obviously changed up the eye makeup because I am just sitting here playing around with makeup for, believe it or not, my Halloween costume. And I have been looking closely into my magnifying mirror, and this foundation looks horrible. It looks absolutely terrible. I'm going to try it again tomorrow without the primer underneath to see if that's the problem. But I don't know if you can tell, but oh my God, it looks so bad in my mirror. It's like completely caked up. It's like separated. It's come out like my pores are just huge and the makeup is just sitting in them. I mean, my pores look enormous through this entire area, and that is even with that Milk Makeup powder on top. Yeah, if I had somewhere to go right now or later, I would have to take everything off and start over, foundation-wise. The concealer still looks good, but the foundation, not good so far. 2 of wearing the Rose Ink foundation, and I had to run and do some errands. Now, I don't normally run errands in a full glam makeup look, but I had some other content I needed to get done today. It's still a no for me, and I did not use the Hard Candy Primer, and I did not use the Diablo Spray, and I'm kind of having the same results. It's very glowy. It's too glowy for me. And I just don't like the way it's sitting on my skin. I was just in Sephora picking up something and I looked in the mirrors there and I felt like my pores were just so visible, even with that Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse powder. So I don't think I'm loving that either. I don't have any of these issues when I wear some of my other foundations with, say, my Givenchy powder or my Huda Beauty powder, which, by the way, I just picked up the Huda Beauty Easy Bake pressed powder. It came out a little bit too late for this testing hot new makeup video, but I will give you my thoughts on that in maybe I can't talk, at the end of this month in favorites and fails. So I don't know if you can see. I don't know if it's transferring on the iPhone camera. This is just highlighter. I used the Hourglass palette again. I do like that. But I used the brow pencil again, the Kosas. But I'm not digging the foundation. And I hate to be one of the only people when you read reviews and they're all really, really good. And then you're kind of like, I disagree. I don't really like that. It's not horrible. It's just too glowy for me. And I think I'll try it again with like a pore smoothing primer, see if that helps. But I don't feel like I should have to work so hard to make a foundation work. The concealer so far, I am really, really liking. I can't say that I'm loving it yet because I just don't know. I need to give the concealer at least 3, 4, maybe even 5 tries. But I have tried concealers in the past or tested concealers in the past that I immediately thought, no. I wasn't thrilled with how it sat on my under eyes. I wasn't thrilled with the coverage, but so far I'm very happy with how this Haus Labs concealer has performed. And then as far as the Milk Pore Eclipse powder goes, it definitely was pore refining. I do feel like my pores disappeared as soon as I applied it. This powder is one of the most whisper light powders I have ever tried. It remains to be seen if I reach for it over my my Givenchy powder or my Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder. Those have been my favorites for quite a long time now. So I will update you on whether or not I find myself reaching for this over those. The Hourglass Leopard palette, yeah, it is so pricey, but if you're just going to get one, like as I mentioned, this is the only Hourglass palette I have, and I'm glad I went for this one because I really feel like this is a great palette for travel. It has everything that you would need pretty much. I mean, you could easily use the bronzer as an eyeshadow. You could use the highlighter shade on your lid. You could use the pink in your crease like I did. And the blush colors are just so pretty. So I'm loving this so far. The Kosas Nano Brow Pencil, this is really good. Even though this does have a micro fine tip, it's not breaking off like the Huda Beauty one does, at least for me. The Kosas Undressed Neutral Eyeshadow Palette. It gets 2 thumbs up for me. I mean, if you already have the Master Mattes by Makeup by Mario, or you already have the Patrick Ta eyeshadow palette, the new Major Dimensions 3, you do not need this. It's flat out, you just don't need it. Unless you want something that's really travel friendly. I mean, the Mario is travel friendly as well, but this is even more travel friendly. It's a little bit less expensive. Honestly, I think the formula is superior to the Makeup by Mario, but the Makeup by Mario obviously has more shadows in it. And I really like, in a travel palette, personally, to have a black shade in there that I can use for liner. And I do believe that the dark brown in that palette's a little bit darker than this one. The bottom line is I really like it. I think it's incredible quality and I would recommend it. So new to me was this lip pencil from Tower 28, this multi-liner in Work of Art. Great shade, really great shade. Could you find a similar shade to this at the drugstore? Probably, but can you use that pencil on your cheeks and eyes as well? I'm not so sure. For the lipstick, the shade American Woman, the new NARS Power Matte High Intensity Lip Pencil. I really liked how it felt going on. And those types of pencils are great because you don't really have to use a lip liner with those. You can just use them as your lip liner to outline your lips and fill them in. And these just have a really nice creamy texture. They don't feel like a matte. Now, obviously I went over mine with a gloss, so I'm going to try one of these other shades on their own and see if it kind of dries down to more of a matte finish and to test out that whole 12-hour lasting power claim. And then this Milk Makeup Lip Gloss Oil. This is a really great product. I plan to play around with this some more, meaning I want to see how it looks on its own. I want to see how it looks over other lipsticks. It remains to be seen how hydrating this feels. It does have a little bit of a scent to it, kind of like a buttercream scent that you only get, at least I only get a tiny whiff of when I opened up the gloss. It's not something that I can still smell now that the gloss is on. I almost forgot about the Cleantopia mascara. I did go ahead, just out of habit, and put on some falsies. I got a whole new box of my Risa Does Makeup BK Beauty Day Club lashes in the mail, and I just couldn't help myself. I love a fresh pair of lashes, especially when they're mine. So I did put on some falsies, but I could see myself reaching for this quite often. I do really like the way my lashes looked. What I didn't like is that, as I mentioned in the demo, I feel like the stopper on mine is a little weak. It definitely could use to have some more effort in there where it removes more of the clumpiness, more of the formula, so not so much clumps come out on the applicator. As you can see, it's already gotten quite messy around the edge of the tube. I think we can all conclude that I am very happy with everything. This was a very successful testing hot new makeup, especially when it came to the color matching. As always, all of the products will be listed and linked down below in the description box of this video. If you did enjoy this video, I really appreciate you giving it a thumbs up, sharing it with a friend. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, I hope that you will consider subscribing. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button and join the Risa Does Makeup family. I do upload new videos at least twice per week. You can also find more content from me over on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. My username is the same on all of those platforms. It's Risa Does Makeup. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.